So Nitish, we'll start with we will start first with some coding now.
Sure.
Okay, so you have to share your screen with me.
Okay, I will share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Okay. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
So basically, I have write down the problem in the chat box. You can use any ID if you want, or you can use the plain logic as well.
ID like my ID is like slow. If I open now, it will take time. Okay, I will click on that. We'll see.
Okay, no problem.
Shit. I can't able to copy. So you have an array for which the ith element is the price of a given stock on day I. Ith element is the price of a given stock on a day I. Day one, okay. If you are only permitted to complete at most one transaction, okay, that is buy one and sell one share of the stock. 1,000, okay. Design an algorithm to find the maximum profit. Note that you cannot sell a stock before you buy one.
Okay, so you get the problem, Nandish? Or do you want me to explain the problem?
We'll be having.
Let me explain.
Sorry.
So first you have to buy the stock and then you have to sell the stock. Means you need to buy at a low price and sell at a maximum price. So sell at a high price. Okay, like in this example, you buy at day 2 when the price of the stock is 1, and you sell at day 5 when the price of stock is 6. So you get maximum profit of 5 rupees. In this example.
Like I didn't get. Can you repeat once again?
You buy at a lower price and you sell at a maximum price.
You buy at
First you buy, then you sell.
Okay, but what this will say is like
It's
starting only I will
this
buy.
array represent price of stock at a particular day. At day 1, the price of stock is 7. At day 2, price of stock is 1. And day 3, price of stock is 5, and so on.
So you're telling first day I will not take, second day I will take, and third day I will be selling. Once again, fourth day I will be taking, and fifth day I will be selling.
Only one transaction. Only one time you can buy and at one time you can sell. Only one transaction, not the multiple transactions. No? You buy at day 2. In this example, you buy at day 2 and sell at day 5 to get the maximum profit. Okay, if you buy at day 2 and sell at day 3, you will get the profit of 4, right? Because the difference is 4, okay. 1 and 5. And if you buy at day 1 and sell at day 2, you will get a loss of 6 rupees, because you will buy at 7 and you sell at 1.
Okay.
Selling should happen after the buy. Okay. Do you get the question now, or?
Yeah.
Take your time in this. Let me know if you have any problem.
Sure. Okay. Hello.
Yes, Manish.
I took it will come up a list of array value, and I'm iterating, and I am checking.
Okay.
I am doing the checking of the previous one and the new one. If this is the lower than everything, then I'm buying on that time. And if buy is not 0 and if already like I'm checking whether when to sell, like I'm adding like if this index is more than like ij means like next element I'm checking, like if one is if already a cell will be like first time, if you think like cell will be 0 and a of j will be 1, then that value will be added selling time same, and like at last it will iterate said if that is 6 will be the at last it will come to 6 as well. Cell is less than means 4, next last will be 4 other array of j. So if means 6 is greater than 4, so finally the cell will be also the 6, so that time the cell also will be adding.
So this will work for a particular case. This will not work for a generic.
Sorry.
And you are using this will not work for every case. It will work for some generic cases only. It will not work for every case.
Generic
It will for some particular cases it will work, but it will not work for every case. I can see the logic, but it's not correct one. Okay, leave it. Manish. I have given you second problem. Can you check that? It's a basically Java 8 stream problem. So you have to write the code in Java 8 stream only. Java 8 stream, right?
Yeah. List of employee name string, age, int, phone number string. Filter these leaves as that employee should be aged below 40 and employee having mobile number only. Like mobile number only in the sense like I didn't get
means
it.
you could have this number now, like it could be landline number or mobile number. Mobile number have +91 it's a only 10-digit number, right? Mobile number.
Okay, you are telling like which contains 10 digits.
Yes, and phone numbers are in string.
Phone number is in string. Should not means I should.
And these should be mobile. Mobile are 10-digit only. These are the property of mobile number. Okay.
Okay.
And then you convert this into a map such that the name of the employee will be the key and the entire employee object will be its value. Assume that every name is unique. Okay, this is you have to use the string.
So you are telling like I need to convert to map.
Right, no, you have the list of employees. Let's say the employees list is an object. In that it contains the list of every employee. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, one second. I got it.
And you have to return the map.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kubernetes.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you show me?
Yeah. So this one like doing streams and filtering by employee age is less than 40, and I'm checking whether the length is 10, and I'm checking whether that is integer or not. So if it is satisfies, then the filter will check. After that I'm while collecting I'm grouping by name as a key and employee as a object. I'm little forgotten like how to pass the object here, like we can do by in the grouping by only. I forgot like how to pass. We can directly if we pass this one, I think it might give a get name of employee object.
What will grouping by written?
Like unique objects.
Grouping by by returns
means unique get name it will be having grouping by name we are doing, and it might contains if you are telling it so this might contain list of employee objects, because if same one name is having two employee objects, then it will come as a list of employees. So yeah, this might have map of list of objects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it will return the list every time, right? But I want only one object of employee, because I said na that every name will be unique. It will return the list of employee object grouping wise.
If it is that's what I am telling. If that is already the record is unique, then it will give only one record of the list.
It will one record in the list object.
Yeah.
I don't want the list object, no. I just want employee object. You get my point?
Okay.
It will be a list of one element. The return with in the value, it will be the list of one element. I don't want that. I know that there will be one element, so why I'll put that in list.
Then here my map to collect.
Can you think of any other collector?
Like two map is there.
Okay.
But I'm not sure like how this will be passing a distinct
Okay, no problem with this. No problem.
okay.
That is okay. So basically we'll pass the name and object, because it will collect object wise.
But you are telling here also it will be the list, it won't be fixed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell me? What is the supplier interface in Java 8?
What is the
Supplier interface. Functional interface, no supplier.
Okay, the functional interface, it is like which contains a single method over there, like a single abstract method. So basically that is used by a lambda expression internally. So like directly we can implement the method. This is how we will be using. Means mainly we will be using the functional interface in lambda expressions.
Okay. So what's the supplier interface?
Like I am not sure like supply. I have heard of functional interface.
What is you use filter here? What is filter?
Like
What
this
type
will
of,
be having the predicate of object. So
predicate. So when there is predicate, there will be a supplier as well, no? These are 4 type of functional interface that will introduce in Java 8.
okay, I didn't saw it. What are the functional interface which is there?
Okay. So why does a default method has been introduced in Java 8?
Basically, if many classes having means one method we need to implement in all the means interface having one interface is implemented in many classes, and one method should be need to be affected in all the classes. Then that we have to write every place. So what happens if we have a default method that will be if you write implemented in interface, then it will be affected in all the other subclasses. Like basically it is like for each method already which is introduced in an iterator. It's like that.
Can you tell me what's try with resource in Java?
Caching means exception we are doing, right? So try will be having if we are doing any file output stream or anything. So if we are doing directly by try of by using the key, like here we are using try. If we are using directly a try of file output, so what happens is basically we don't need to end with finally block and check whether it is having object or not, and closing. By default it will if anything happens it will only close as the object, the try block.
What's a completable future object?
Computable feature is like threading object, like which we can create a thread of any runnable and callable, and we can create a thread like threading one thread we can initiate and we can process. Like it can if we are using enable, then we can't get any feature value from that. The value won't be there. If we are using a clonable, then that returns, means if we are specifying a certain specific object, then that returns the specific object value from the thread. So that is computable.
Okay. Okay. So can you tell me what qualifier notation do in Spring?
Basically, like if we are doing ordered auto-wired and we are having only one object, means one service. If we are having one service and that is having implementation, if you are thinking, so then only means one service, one interface is having only one service implementation, then automatically that will if you are doing any auto-wired, then it automatically creates the object of the implemented one. If you are having multiple classes, then means one interface having implemented is at two places, then if we mention in the bean while buying creation, or else if we mention we means if we need a second class implementation object to create it by Spring, then we will mention the qualifier, like which class should be initiated for the particular interface. So for mentioning, for specifying, we will be using qualifier.
Okay, can you tell me the difference between put and post REST endpoint?
Put and post, basically like post is will be doing in like while we are doing any save of the new object, we will be going for the post method where we can get the request body, and basically like input we will be doing updating the objects, like a same entity we are storing of with the specific fields, then we will go with the put method that is also accepts the request body as a input to store.
So can we save a new object using put method?
Yeah, we can do, but that is not an actually part, like the so only they are distinguished, like
So there, I see that that is not recommended. But if we can do that, why we do not use it? Recommendation is something based on some reason, right? Why it is recommended to use post instead of put?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
That it is recommended to use post instead of put when we are saving an object, right?
Yeah.
So there must be some logic now why this recommendation is given.
Must be logic. The response. No idea properly.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's say that I have a get request
Okay.
and I have 20 params
20 params.
for filtration.
Okay.
So should I? So when we do the get request, we send every means we usually do we send every params in URL, right?
Yeah.
In get method. So is it means should is it the correct way, or
No.
what could be our alternative approach?
Yeah, that time like we will be put the values, the filtering values into the object, and we have to do the requesting body. But in the get API, we in the locally, if we can use the request body to get the object, but from the UI perspective, like we can't use the get method to do. So we will go with the post method for that. Like if we are accepting any object level, means if we are doing in a single API with the many 20 parameters, that is not a good, like for that we will be using with the object, and we will use the post mapping for that.
Okay. So you mentioned microservices, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what's the facade design pattern in microservices?
Currently, like I am not sure the naming convention. Currently, we are using like we have a gateway and we have a server where we will be maintaining all the microservice with the Eureka. And means gateway is like a Azure gateway we
Yes,
are
sir.
using.
So in Eureka, what does Eureka do? Mention
Eureka basically captures all the microservice details with the in Eureka. Means we will be mapping all the microservices to the Eureka, so that gateway also will be mapped.
It's just a naming registry.
Yeah.
Basically, if we want to find other microservices, and their address, we go to Eureka and find
We
their
will
address
find them.
and make the request, right?
Yeah.
So
No.
you mentioned you are doing the load balancer also.
Like basically we have a ribbon client over there, and we'll be using a REST template for the load balancing. Means like
So ribbon, what does the ribbon do?
ribbon scales the scales like the callings of means if we can deploy a service, we can deploy in many pods, same service. So like the ribbon will be like checks the which service is the which pod is having a use, then it will checks, and it will be like it will shift to the other less loaded one.
You mentioned pod. What does you mean by pod? Is it Kubernetes pod or your?
Yeah, Kubernetes pods only we are using. Means basically we have means we have DevOps teams. We are using for deployments. We are using a Red Hat tools, Red Hat based DevOps one. So there we are deploying in the pod based. Like that will be mapped to the pods will be mapped to the Eureka. Like gateway will be pointing to the every microservice with the names. So the gateway can
what,
get.
Which gateway you are using, Nandi?
Currently, yeah, Azure gateway.
Yeah, Azure gateway.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you are using Spring Cloud mostly.
Spring Cloud currently no, not that integrated.
So Azure, Eureka, Ribbon, everything is part of Spring Cloud.
No, okay. Dependency, yeah, the Spring Cloud dependencies I'm using. I thought like Spring Cloud separate server where we'll be getting the.
No, Spring Cloud. These are the part of Spring Cloud, no?
Yeah.
The whole environment. Okay. So you must be using some circuit breaker. Okay. What are you using for circuit breaker?
Yeah, there is a one like Strix only the one. So currently, yeah, we are not using. But yeah, Strix is the one we can. That is a fault break tolerance. We can, if that any response is not coming from the other microservice, then we can give a default response, and we can pass according to that.
So you are using older version of Spring Cloud.
No, basically we are not having too much calls by one microservice to other microservice currently. So yeah, we are not introduced that.
Okay, so do you know what's as you mentioned now Strix? So how does circuit breaker work? And this?
Like the API, if one microservice is calling another microservice, it will be eating to the other microservice API. If the same API is not giving it, it will wait for a certain time. If certain time is not giving any response from there, then it will give a default response to the API from the current service. We will be calling to the other microservice. If that is not giving in a response in a particular time, then the current one will be means in the current service only we have to have a circuit breaking mechanism. So for any APIs, we'll check whether it is not giving. We'll give some certain response that we'll be taking in the same API, and we will be, according to that value, we'll be sending to the UI.
Yeah, so that is it from my side. Do you have any query or questions that you want to ask?
Can I know what can be done on this place? This area.
Okay. Let me tell you the. Let's say that I have another input. Let me say.
Okay.
I'm pasting another input. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think? What will be the answer of this input?
Like we have to take. We have to buy in this and sell here only.
3 or 10 should be the buy and sell, right? Let's say that 3 or 10 come in the last.
0 to 3 and 10.
Then you, yeah, if it comes in the last, no.
Okay.
Then your, I don't think your solution would give the answer. It's a very simple question. So basically, you have in only one loop, no, you just take element at I, right? Let me tell you the solution.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say that you are iterating through the loop. Don't go through the for loop. Just use the while loop. Okay.
Okay.
You are at the first location. So you check whether the next element is smaller or bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's a smaller, replace your current to that element. If it's bigger, you'll calculate the difference and match with the current existing max result, max profit.
Okay.
Okay. If it's greater, then you update the max profit. If it's not, you move on to the next element. So it's a simple while loop. Only one element you need to iterate through.
Okay.
Using only one loop. Here you will get the wrong solution, wrong answer, and you'll have more complexity as well.
Yeah.
You get my solution?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So if you find the lower one, then you trace the current with the lower. If you find the bigger one, just calculate the maximum point with maximum difference. Okay.
But if I am having 10 year and someplace I will be having 11 year, then
so answer will be 7, 8 in that case. Here in the below answer will be 9, 1 and 10.
1 and 10. Here you are telling? Here which? 3
means below last in the last example.
Like I didn't get, like in this example you are telling that this is the low and this is the highest. Means tell.
Yeah. Yes. You have to calculate the difference, maximum difference.
Okay. But if
maximum difference 7 only, but here 1 or 10 could be the maximum difference.
That's what the UI.
Yeah, 11 then. Yes, then you will have answer 8.
Then answer 8.
Yes, 3 or no 8, not 1 and 11, 10 will be the answer. 3, 10 won't work, 1 and 11 will work, no, in that case.
Okay, 1 and 11, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, I got it. Manish.
Okay, so HR will connect with you with the feedback, right?
Sure.
It was nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.